Okay, let's get started with our first form using Next.js. We're going to use what I call a route handler form. So we're going to be utilizing Next.js's route handlers. So to make that route, we'll make a new folder called route handler. And inside that folder, we'll put a page.tsx. Let's call this page, and I'm going to annotate it right here with route handler form. And let's go to that page. So I did something wrong, looks like. I need to go back to my home page that we're using, and instead of href, it should be /forms/ Let's try that again. Oh, and the home page should not be the home page. It should be the forms page. All right, so route handler, perfect. Okay, so we are going to just keep the div here, and we can make it a main tag. And we're going to put in that form title we created in the last video. And we're just going to call this route handler form. Okay, and then we are going to create a form component. And we'll put it right in the same folder. So new file, form dot, let's just call it let's name it a little better. Route handler form .tsx. Route handler form route handler. Okay, and yeah, so we're gonna keep the form in a separate file. There's nothing else going on this page, just the title and the form. And let's work only in this file now. And we're gonna start off by going to our base form and copying everything, pasting it in. We don't need this. We will need this. Okay, and our title is gone. Oh, because it's margin top. Okay, that is okay. Let's leave it like that. And I'll remove this from the base form. Okay, so we are going to use hooks in this component, which means for Next.js we have to declare it as a use client. So we're going to use the use state hook to manage our form. Const use state. And let's just give it some initial values. Let's just give it, actually, do I care about resetting the form? Sure, why not? So let's do const initial values equal to card holder, be string, card number, be string, expiration date, be string, and CVV. Okay, use date will be the initial values. And we will have our form data and our set form data. And let's go ahead and hook up our inputs to be controlled. So value will be formed data dot card holder, and on change set form data to spread the form data, and we'll change the card holder to e.target.value. And we do the same thing for the other three fields. So let's copy that. And we'll just change card holder here to expiration date, the card number, and this one to CVV. Okay, so now we have a controlled form, and we're gonna need some other things here. We're gonna need a loading state, loading, set loading, use state false. Let's do constant error state. And a success state. And let's stick our error and success right below the form and above the first input. So div, class name h5, text center, and if we have an error, we input a small tag, the class name text yellow 700, font bold. I don't like to use red for errors. I like yellow. I think it's a little bit more less harsh. And then let's see what that looks like actually. Error. Oh, sorry, these should be empty states. False. Bold. Maybe semi-bold. Or maybe not bold at all. And maybe 600. 700 should be good. Small. It's kind of small. Text. Let's change to maybe an H6. Or a P tag. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll do the exact same thing, but for success. And we'll make this a green. And these should both be empty strings. Okay. So, yeah, that's what this little space up here is for. That way it won't shift anything. It doesn't look the best, but I think it's okay for now. I guess we could do, no, it's fine. Leave it alone. Okay, so that's the form pretty much. So let's create a handle submit for our form. Async react.form. So this form is basically going to be similar to if you had your own backend Express server, and this is kind of the way you would go about doing it. So we'll do e.prevent default, and let's pass the handle submit to our form. On submit, handle submit. And then we will do some loading is true. Set error to empty and set success to empty. And then let's go to our button and we will pass down our, okay, actually we're gonna copy and paste the button directly into the file. And for children, we'll just say complete purchase. And then we will do disabled is equal to loading. Cool. And so now we want to do our fetch, right? So const response is equal to await fetch API/forms. And we could call it a method post, and headers content type application JSON, and then the body will be json.stringify our form data. Okay, so before we continue from here, so maybe here you would do some kind of validation check. We're not going to do that here. And now we have to say, so where's our backend? Where's our API form? So Next.js is kind of like a full stack framework in itself, so we can create routes that live on the server. So the convention is to make a folder called app, API I mean, and in there we create our routes. One thing I realized I'm going to change real quick is that the components folder should not be in this app folder. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it's better for it not to be, because only routes and pages really should be in the app folder. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this out. And I'm going to update the imports and hopefully, thank you VS Code. Okay, so in our API, we're going to create another folder called forms. Yeah. And inside the forms folder, we're going to create not a page.txt, but a route.ts. Okay, and this is where we can do stuff similar to an Express server or like our own backend. So this is our path. So this is the AP. This is to get to this endpoint. It'll be /API/forms. And so we can do get, post, patch, delete request, but we're just going to do one simple post request. So export async function, and we call the name of our method that we use post. Request is a request from, we can keep it as the built-in request type. I think it's fine. So const data is equal to await request.json. We can call it form data because we know what it's going to be. And I'm going to add a delay here, so mock delay, so I can show you guys what the loading state is going to do in the button. So like in real life, it would probably take a few seconds for your form to submit. So just resolve, set timeout, resolve. Let's do 2 seconds. Okay, and then let's do const. Let's extract everything from the form data. Card holder, card number, expiration date, CVV. We can go ahead and log it. Console.log. Okay. We can make it a little bit more explicit too. We can say we're in the post /API/forms. It just might not log the way we wanted to actually, but so let's just get rid of that actually. Okay, and then let's do here's a simple validation check we could do. If there's no card holder or no card number or no expiration date or no CVV, then we'll return an error. Return response.json error, please check your information again. And then we can do, I think, status 400. That might not be the right error code, but let's disregard that for now. Otherwise, we can do next response, or sorry, just response.json success. Thank you for your purchase. Status 201. All right, so we get the form data from our backend. We fake a 2-second wait time. We're gonna log our data just to see what we're getting. And since we're on the server, our log is actually gonna come up here in the dev console terminal, not in the Chrome DevTools. Then if we don't, this is our validation, very weak validation, just checking if we're missing any of these values, then return a error response. And otherwise, if the validation passes, we just return a success response. Thank you for your purchase. And here you do whatever you want to do with the data. So let's follow up on that. So we're gonna make a response. We're gonna get a response back from the API call, post method. We're calling it here. We're telling it the content type. We're sending the form data, and then we want that JSON back, right? So const JSON equals to await response.json. And do I need to? It is async, so that's good. Make sure to make this async. And then so if JSON.error, then we'll just set error to JSON.error and return. Or we can also do set loading false. If JSON.success, we can do set success to JSON.success. We can do set loading to false. We can do set form data to initial values. Initial, that's one initial wrong. Yes, I did. Initial values, and then we don't need to return, but keep it symmetrical, I guess. All right, so let's test it out. So let's just put in some bad information first. Let's call it I don't know, John Doe. Car number 111 222 323 444. Valid through February 2025. And we'll keep CVV blank, okay? So let's complete the purchase. Look at the button. It's going to be a loading state once I click submit. That's 2 seconds acting. And no, please check your information again. And we can see here our form data got logged in the back. This is in the back end. If we go to our route, see, we can see it logged here. This is all in the back end. If we see the Chrome console here, we don't have anything. Well, this is Firefox, but this is Chrome actually, yeah. And then so let's put a real CVV, I don't know, 555, complete purchase. Thank you for your purchase, everything submitted. All right, so that's how we do route handlers in Next.js. That's how we deal with forms. That's how we do error and success states, and that's how we can do loading. So yeah, and here, like again, this is just like an Express backend. You can call your MongoDB database, your Postgres database, or do any server side related things here, which is really a cool thing to do with Next.js.